Hello, welcome back to SALT, our School of Accountable Living, Timing, and Earning. This is a place where we discuss about the home, the community, and how we should live our lives to make the most of it. Healthy and happy lives. Wealthy is about material. But you see, for just being a living soul, you're already rich. When people want to acquire wealth just because they want to control others, they lose something about humanity and themselves too. So, in this particular episode, we'll be looking at an offshoot of our last video where we discussed the three principles, economic systems, three principles of capitalism or socialism, and then communalism. We stated in the last video that communalism gives us a balance. It takes a lot of faith in yourself and in others in your community for you to be able to operate communalism. I've grown up in a place where this particular idea, this particular system is so common. The community is big and it seems to be bigger than each individual, and very truthfully so. And the community is made up of souls, living souls. If one living soul by Christian principle is more than all the wealth in the world, then the only thing bigger than one living soul is two living souls. So the community is made up of quite a number of living souls, and so the community is always bigger than every individual making up the community. Today we'll be talking about an economic system that evolved from this idea that I do not need to be controlled in order to do the right thing. I do not need to control others. I can agree with them and we'll work our way to power, we'll work our way to wealth, we'll work our way to good health and happiness. And what is that system? Cooperative. What is cooperative? Sometime in 2016, Mr. Tony Ude from Enugu East was at our cooperative meeting to educate us on what cooperative means in order to qualify us to be registered as a registered society, a cooperative society in Enugu, Nigeria. And what he told us was cooperative means a people that love themselves. So the basic thing about the cooperative is that these people have respect for one another. That's what it means by a people that love themselves. Number two, a people that love themselves and want to improve their economic well-being, and by extension, the well-being of their entire lives and families. So, if a cooperative is a set of people that love themselves, it means they can be so powerful without having to force anybody to do anything against his will. They can operate power, they can attain power without having to deceive anybody. Capitalism can use government rules and edicts, government policies to kill business and resurrect business or trigger business. Those ones are manipulations. They are combinations of force and deception. But cooperative is one system on earth, I can tell you, that can survive on love alone. You don't need to coerce anybody into doing something. You don't need to deceive anybody into doing anything. Force and deception are not needed. And ultimately, manipulation is not needed. Even though people will always go back to capitalism to borrow these things. But love is the core of cooperative. Force could come in from time to time. Deception could creep in because it doesn't come invited. Ills don't come invited. They find their way. Once a dubious-minded person is involved in leadership, he finds a way to bring in deception. And in today, analyzing what economic system can operate without force or deception, that economic system is called cooperative. The first set of cooperatives on this planet originated from a people that felt not accommodated, felt rejected by an established system, and they chose to come together and do something for themselves. They chose to come together and help themselves improve their lot. What the government cannot do for you, you as a team, as a family, could start doing for yourselves. What the mighty and the powerful, what our employers could not do for us, we can find a way to create a system whereby we become our own employers and we do for ourselves, give to ourselves, pay to ourselves what the other employers couldn't have paid us. An example is Tesco in the United Kingdom. And the example is the Mondragon systems in Spain and the Credit Agricole in that's from France. These systems are cooperative, though to a good extent there is the capitalism. But just let's look at it this way: cooperatives, an economic system, can function like the owner of a system. Capitalism now function as managers of units in that system. When we have this understanding, you will now see why a cooperative will own a shop that is completely running on profit. But to make sure that the principles, the real purpose for which the cooperative was created is not defeated, there will always be a way of sharing back the profits to the members of the cooperative. There will always be a way of giving back more value to the members of the cooperative. That is the idea we're bringing on board today. In the subsequent videos, you will see more of what we need to run successful cooperatives. When we run successful cooperatives, I can tell you that 5 cooperatives, 5 good cooperatives, 5 big cooperatives are all that is needed for Nigeria to come out of every form of economic woes. Just 5 working cooperatives, real good, successful cooperatives in the rank of Credit Agricole, the Cooperative Group of UK, or the Mondragon of Spain, or the cooperative in Bangladesh that owns Grameen Bank of Bangladesh. When we have working cooperative groups in Nigeria, not those that are created to beg for CBN intervention or created to beg for one government grant or the other World Bank grant, at the end of the day, they die off. Whether they got the grant or not, they fizzle out. If they get the grant, they either share it or plow it into a project that nobody is interested in managing and the whole thing goes down. Or they couldn't get it in the first place, they didn't come together for any love they have for each other or for any purpose they want to improve themselves. They simply wanted to grab some government fund or World Bank fund and then see what they could eat. Those ones are driven by hunger, today's hunger, satisfy today and die tomorrow. So that's not what I'm advocating here. I'm advocating for people to come together with people they love. Even if you're a thief, even if you are an armed robber, even if you are a fraud, there are people you cannot lie to, that you can't afford to peddle, to deceive. Gather with them as cooperative. If you can work together with them and build an economic block, that's the way forward. Nigeria and the entire of West Africa, the entire of Africa, we must progress from where we are talking faith to acting faith. Production. If we do not have systems of production, we cannot produce the things we use and the things we sell out. We cannot produce. Our faith isn't yet being utilized. So the starting point is we must take the step to move from faith talk to faith acts and work out our everyday courageously, no matter the economic system we have all around us. Thank you very much. So watch out for our next coming by you.